we were talking about the rise of AI, when you started working with it, how you started working with it, and how that's impacting you today. Can you talk some more about that?
So I started investigating Gen AI, not about the time that a lot of people did, probably, I don't know, in earnest, probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Uh, it was baffling to me how on earth does it understand uh, any meaning behind these strings of characters that I type in as a prompt. And I did a lot of research trying to understand that. And finally, I found some resources that were trying to explain the embedding process to me and how there's these large language models that their purpose is to, I guess they intuit meaning somehow from the words, and they assign a big long, wide vector of numbers
Yes.
that each column in that vector basically means something. And what I later discovered, and when things started clicking for me, I was going through some of the resources and writing some code in Python, and uh, I found some examples where the 2,000 wide vectors were reduced down to like seven, and where it was a small enough matrix and things that you could kind of visualize. And it suddenly jumped out at me is like, as long as the going in part and the interpretation coming out were the same model, I don't have to care what those columns are. I don't have to care, the 2,000 different kinds of meanings in that vector. I don't have to know what they are as long as you use the same embedding model in both directions.
Hmm.
And it basically just is doing a probabilistic assessment of, which things are closest in meaning to each other. And that was when things started clicking for me, and I started, and so now as I was starting to experiment and build some prototypes, I started feeling like, I bet if I do this, I'll get this kind of answer. Just it'll change it in this way, and started realizing I was starting to get it right. Uh,
Uh-oh.
I was starting to anticipate if I made certain changes to the way I was doing things, that I would start getting a more desirable result.